Welcome, everybody, to the third episode of the Professionals Dustfire Media's Scum and Villainy actual play. I'm so excited because we're doing crew and PC advancement today, and we are also going to pick a job and get started on that. Now, something happened last week. Again, we had another audio issue. I don't know what happened, but I asked a great question at the top. Off the top of my head, I asked... if you could take anyone to dinner and then immediately murder them afterwards, who would you take to dinner? And we had a wonderful conversation about that. And unfortunately, chunks of our conversation were lost. And so if you listen to last week's episode, it just goes pretty much straight into like the episode, which is fine. Normally
like as a group
banter. I didn't want to ask that question again because it was an organic conversation and we wouldn't get the same. So I'm just going to turn it around. Let's all establish something
I feel
right
like
now. We're all going to murder somebody.
This is not the question, but now I just like my brain went to horrible bosses. I don't know if you guys have seen that movie, but like what?
All of us are going to pick the same person. No, individually. This is like an alternate universe sort of thing. It's the same person.
Oh, thank God. Okay.
Danny. I'm kidding.
It's a little bit like that. Sure. Yeah. It's a little like that. But in 5 alternate universes, we all murder somebody. Who is that one person?
Danny.
Why did I have this feeling? I had this inkling feeling. Also, can we just address the elephant in the room? That obviously either Musk, Bezos, or the Zuck corrupted our audio files because we were talking about them.
Probably. And you mentioned them now, so...
Yeah. There goes this episode.
Yeah.
Sorry, you're right.
You invoked the unholy name.
I'm fine. We can just let's go with Musk. Let's go with Elon Musk. Okay.
Are we about to go into how? I'm confused.
No. Here's the question. Like last week was if you could take someone to dinner and then immediately murder them afterwards. Who'd
Elon
you take
Musk
to dinner?
feeling
This
at least
week,
like the kind of guy
we're all
who's
murdering
like
the
down
same
to earth
person.
enough
Elon
to enjoy
Musk.
McDonald's.
Where are you taking him to dinner?
Like that's how he stays connected to the people.
I think
by
McDonald's
occasionally
just to
eating
slight
fast
him.
food. Yeah.
Like, I think that's a good last meal. No.
Yeah.
That's the brand he's created.
Yeah.
Okay.
He would probably
then it
lie
needs to
about
be
how much he
something,
actually eats fast food too.
something unforgivably bad, like when On the Border does the specials for like endless enchiladas, and it's like, wow, that sounds like a really good deal. How badly
what you got to do is like take him to like
and the
the
answer
lowest
is
rated,
really bad.
like find the lowest rated
The
Chinese
answer to that
restaurant in your
question is
area,
always
and
worse
then
than you
go
thought before.
and order something that you know
Imagine the
badly
worst
has
enchilada.
orders there, so it's definitely also
Are you thinking of the
like
worst
it's
enchilada?
expired
It's
in
worse
the
than
back and like
Worse than that.
like like you go to a place where they've got like, you know how some Chinese restaurants, it's like they've got a ton of like traditional Chinese dishes or like traditional American Chinese dishes, and then it's like macaroni and cheese is also on the menu for some reason. Like so that yeah
I gotcha.
You got to eat that.
Yeah.
Nick, I
Greek
don't know.
diners are great for that too. Greek diners have like 400 items on the menu, and some of them do not get ordered.
Nick, Danny, I don't know if you relate to this at all, but anytime we went out to dinner with my grandparents, my Japanese grandparents, we would always go to an all-you-can-eat buffet. It was always one of those ones where like it's like a Japanese all-you-can-eat buffet.
Yeah, I think every
like Japanese, because there's Japanese food, but there's also Chinese food, there's also Korean food, there's also American food. You know what I mean? Like you can get it all there, and it's all terrible.
We used to just call them China buffets.
Yeah, exactly.
Doesn't matter.
It's I would take that.
It's all terrible, but it's all also really good.
It's kind of fun. Yeah, it is. That's what I was gonna say. Like guilty pleasure. I love terrible Chinese food. Oh, it's the best.
Incredible.
There are just times I'm like, I want
like the best. I'm convinced that the best Chinese restaurants are the ones that have 3 stars on Yelp.
Terrible.
It's 5-star one is going to be overly Americanized and not as good tasting as it should be. 1 star is just terrible. Like it has 1 stars for a reason. It deserves 1 star.
Like it's not going to make you feel good.
3 stars is the sweet spot.
No,
where it's like they're not trying to cater to American palates. They're just making good food. Like
100%.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Agreed.
Yes.
It is 100% the sweet spot. There should be at least one 1-star review for that restaurant though, where somebody was pissed off because the service was so bad.
Yes.
Yep.
Why don't they even talk to me? It's because they're busy making good food, you idiot.
Yeah. It's like they were trying to rush me out of there. They were. What are you talking about?
They were.
They got
don't
seats
care
to
about
fill.
you. You give them money, they give you food. That's the end of your interaction with them.
Well, you can take him wherever you
They owe
want.
you nothing more.
Wonderful. So I'm taking Elon Musk to a Asian buffet. All you can eat Asian buffet.
Clams Casino.
Mm-hmm. I accept. I would have preferred the Greek diner or, but it's all good.
We could. Yeah.
We're all trying to give him
I'll
food
take him there,
poisoning
and I'm gonna
before we
order
kill
baked
him.
Alaska,
We want him to be.
'cause I know they don't make
we want him
it.
to
I
not
don't know
enjoy
why
his
it's
dinner
on
and be
there.
in the most discomfort possible before he is also murdered.
Maybe some lobster. Clams Casino and baked Alaska, baby.
Oh, I hate this. This is...
Take that, Musk.
I appreciate the sentiment, but I would rather go after the writers and
I just
showrunners
want
of The
runner-up
Witcher.
for someone to murder that I thought
forcing
of,
Henry
which would
Cavill, who
be,
had a
I think
dream
it's
for what The Witcher
Liam
could be, and that was
Hemsworth,
all of
just
our
for
dream
trying
for what The
to
Witcher
Sure,
could be.
fun. Yeah.
And
I appreciate.
they
I'm gonna
did not
watch it. I
cooperate.
appreciate the effort. I'm gonna be open-minded, but I think I might murder him too in this alternate universe.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm just going for the sticker value, and you're going for the heart. So yeah, absolutely.
Wonderful answers, everybody. I did want to say one thing before we jump into the game proper. There's a lot of stuff happening around the world right now. We're also saddened by the news coming out of Israel and Palestine. And I'm just a person GMing a game. I'm not qualified to be like, here's all the complexity of the history of this interaction between these people. I do know that the loss of life on any side is a terrible thing, and when mass genocide is happening, that is abysmal,
Evil.
and evil and should never be celebrated. So we're aware, we're deeply saddened by what is happening, and we just want to have a moment of escapism from that. So hang out with us for a little bit. We're going to be recording episode 3 of The Professionals. We'll take a little break on Twitch, and then we're going to record episode 4 as well. So we're here for a bit. We have to do a couple things at the top. This is a new system for me. Whenever I GM a new system, almost every week, I read through the rule book, or at least skim through it, just keep myself up on the rules. And we missed something. And I was wondering, you only have a status with the Niko Syndicate. I feel like we were missing something. You should have other relations with factions. And we did miss it. So when you were choosing your ship upgrades, you got 2 ship upgrades. 2 came with your ship, 2 you get to choose. You chose false ship papers and the stasis pods. Now for each of those ship upgrades, one of the factions helped you get that, and you now have a +1 status with them. And one of those upgrades, you pissed off another faction in order to get. So Johnny had the Leto Bartok already kind of have a relationship in his backstory with the Counters Guild. So Johnny was like, can we have the +1 status with the Counters Guild? And I like that. I think that's fun for a couple reasons. The main one is that the Niko Syndicate and the Counters Guild are enemies of each other. So I think that'll be fun to play that tension between the two as we keep going. So the question I have is,
disagree.
What of those
I think that the Counters Guild would be way less likely to give us false papers.
What was that interaction with them?
I think I was imagining a scenario where we got the stasis pods from them because they basically the counters.
I feel like that makes sense.
In my mind, what they care about is the money and getting paid. And so maybe we got sent on a repo job and we got these stasis pods that were not being the payments were not being kept up on. But they didn't really care about having the pods, and they were sort of just like, we can pay you or you could take these pods. And we were like, oh, well, these are actually kind of more useful to us in a certain way.
Yeah. Okay. I like that.
Or they just had stasis pods so they can keep their money cold.
Yes. That one, Danny.
I like that one.
All right.
This is a democracy, right? I vote for that. Yeah.
Okay. Wonderful. You.
Yes.
Keep your money
the
cold.
money cold.
Keep it fresh. Keep it fresh. You gotta keep it fresh.
I always keep my money cold.
All right. I am marking that now that you have that with them. And then who did you piss off to get your false ship papers?
How specific do the false ship papers have to be in function? Like, does it make sense even if we were to steal false ship papers from somebody? You know what I mean?
That's perfect. I think that's like, great.
Okay. That's where my head goes.
What faction? What faction did you steal these false ship papers from?
Help me out, somebody. Let's see.
What if it's I mean, they're false papers, but we stole a lot of them. I mean, what if it's a do we want it? Let's start broad. Do we want it to be another criminal? They're not another criminal organization, but these are like false papers that they had already confiscated from somebody else, and we're just like, thanks.
Page 317.
Yeah.
I understand. Oh, I like that.
Yeah, like a regulatory body.
Yeah.
The 51st
Who fits that the best?
Well, you're probably going to be looking at
something
any of
under
the
hegemony.
Yeah, any of the hegemony factions. Let's see.
What about Isotropa Max Secure? That sounds promising.
Yeah.
Let me look at that.
That's pretty good. So yeah, that is a prison system in the Procyon sector. And that makes a lot of sense, right? What they would absolutely probably have some confiscated false ship papers.
Yeah.
That's a mouthful.
Isotropa Max Secure.
That's pretty fun too.
Go there to get someone out, Steve.
Interested in that faction. I think a giant space.
Well, that's what you think until we get in and we can't get out because it's max.
We have to bust someone out now. We don't have to find a reason.
I don't want to go to prison.
No, we're not going there. We're just getting someone else out of there.
We have to go to get someone.
I think so. Sounds like it.
Guys, you're skipping the important part, which is that we're not staying there.
So
it's okay. I'm not playing the speaker, so Graves isn't going to push it very hard.
So we've decided on Isotropa.
So is that what we're choosing?
Danny, pump your game.
I'm looking at the list, and I feel like that's the best fit.
I love it. I love it a lot.
Yeah.
Isotrope Max.
I like it a lot.
What do I put under tier for each faction?
I can send that to you.
Nick is the keeper of the ship, and Danny is now the keeper of the factions.
Yeah.
You are keeping track of the factions, Danny?
Huh? Oh, apparently. I thought we all are.
You can. I'm also doing it, but I think it would be great if you guys are as well too, or at least can share that burden together.
Yeah, because I just have it up on this.
Okay.
And Heat evidently, because Heat's also.
No,
on
I'm keeping track of Heat.
Okay. Cool.
Because that like applies to the ship. I felt.
Yeah. So you are the Bornico Syndicate is tier 3. Concordiant Knights, which you have a -1 status with because you went onto their ship, is a tier 1. The Counters Guild is a tier 4. And Isotropic Max Secure is tier 3.
And we have -1 with the Knights.
You have -1 with the Concordiant Knights and -1 with Isotropic Max Secure.
Nice.
And +1 with Bornico and +1 with Counters.
With Counters Guild. Yes.
Like to hear it.
Yep. All right. We need to do crew and PC advancement. Let's do PC advancement first. Where is I have my like setup now. Oh, here it is. It's under downtime. And I'm just figuring out where everything is again. Okay. So if you roll the desperate action, that group was did you express your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background?
For Graves, it's a yes.
I think so. Yeah.
And I think it came through in the connection with the other Ramden. And just specifically like adhering to kind of my traditional
yes
roots of like rejecting him. Because he had clearly forsaken a herd by choice, whereas I never had that choice.
Yeah. I like that.
Graves cannot compute.
I think so. Yeah. Gears. I think Gears did too. No?
Yeah, I think so.
I feel like Havoc was maybe the only one that didn't.
Yeah, Havoc was sort of just along for the ride. He was just just a driver.
So feel free. Yeah, you get that 1 XP for that. Did you struggle with an issue from your vice or trauma? I don't think any of you have trauma, but did you struggle with your vice? I don't think anybody did, really. Yet. No. Gears. Did you address a challenge with technical skill or ingenuity?
Technical skill or ingenuity.
Like multiple times.
Multiple times.
Absolutely.
It says I can actually get 2 XP if it happened multiple times.
I get to decide if you get 2 XP.
Man.
I'm sorry.
I think you get.
You say I get.
I think it's one. Flashback?
I think it's 1 overall.
Okay.
Because like a lot during the session is the operative, and I can really think of 2, right? Okay. The hacking and the flashback and the drone. A lot for me has to be like boom, boom, boom.
Oh, that's fine. It's totally fair.
What about that extremely convincing artifact?
I think that was a part of the drone thing.
Okay.
I think that whole thing was involved together.
I got
that was more of a bit.
Yeah,
I think that was honestly where Gears most expressed his
driver. Yeah.
Drives and heritage. Like crazy rich people, they'll believe this.
They'll believe this. That's right.
Carlton Graves, did you address a challenge with force or threat?
Not in the mission, no. And that's probably where it counts. So
yeah. Yep.
Just because I blow off steam with downtime doesn't mean I get to say yes to that. So
no, it's in the job.
Yep.
Did you address Havoc? Did you address challenges with speed or flare?
No,
not at all.
Nope.
I want to see you do some more stuff. I want to see Havoc.
Yeah.
Havoc take front and center one of these times.
Give me a nice
pretty much all I do.
And then I'll show you
I'll
stuff.
do it. We'll do it.
Ooh, please no.
Danny.
Don't break my ship.
Lido Bartok. Did you address challenges with deception or influence? I think so. That's pretty much all you do. Yeah, for sure. So I think you get that. Did anybody get an advancement?
Yes.
That's tier 1. I thought we were 0.
I
thought we were 0.
Far away.
Oh,
okay. Let's move on to the crew advancement then. Did you contend with challenges above your current station? You did not. Let's see.
Well, they're tier 1, right?
And you were tier 1. Your crew quality is 1.
Oh.
Yeah. So if you tangled with factions of higher tier than your crew quality, so you did not do that.
I think it was clean.
Do you think you bolstered your crew's
done.
reputation or developed a new one?
I think
your reputation is professional.
I think it's a pretty solid job.
Yeah, we're professional smugglers.
Yeah, it was clean.
Job doers.
It was clean work. I hope Bornico at least thinks slightly better of us.
So that is interesting. Let's make sure I'm also on the same page as well too. When you guys say your reputation is professional, you just mean like get the job done.
Yeah. At least for me, like I think of professional the way that like they talk about it in Firefly, where like they knew like the job's going to get done
for the most part.
It's not going to be tied to the person.
It just seems
who hired
like
them.
A crappy little crew came in and stole stuff from some rooms, and that's about it.
Okay, perfect. Love that.
Maybe tied.
Now I'm
to
on the
us,
same page too.
To some
for sure, but not to who hired you. Yeah, I'm with you. All right, then absolutely. I think you did bolster your crew's reputation with that. Bornico Syndicate is like, great job. That was excellent. Excellent work, everybody.
And now we have nanites in one of your crew.
Did you express the goals, drives, inner conflict, or essential nature of the crew? And I will say, since this is the first time we're doing this is intentionally broad. You guys get to kind of decide what is the goals, drives, inner conflict, and essential nature of your crew. And did you express that?
With so much left to hew out of the rock that is who we are as a crew, I would say that if the basic goal right now is survival, making ends meet, then I think everyone in the crew agrees on that.
Sure. Okay.
If we have essential goals that take shape and come to the fore later, then we could probably more easily say no to this question. But
okay.
I don't feel like we also did anything that was like grossly in conflict with who we are.
Sure,
as
I'm with you. Yeah,
criminals.
Yeah, I love it.
The decent side of criminals. So far.
I love that. I think too that we should also drill down eventually. We can even take this conversation off air about like what are those goals, drives, and like what is that for your crew? Because there is something now, right? You've been a crew for some time before this. You guys have a repertoire already. What is that? Is it just like, hey, we're here to make money? We don't really like hanging out with each other, but we work well together. If that is what it is, that's what it is. That's interesting. But let's drill down on that a little bit for next time. We don't have to do it now. I'll let you guys have that XP there. And then the last question is your ship specific one, which is did you execute a successful transport or smuggling operation?
Well, technically, we got the doctor lady that is the friend of Leto Bartok to the ship. No, we didn't do that.
Yeah, there was no smuggling involved or transport.
There was some robbing.
Yeah, some good old robbing.
Yeah,
just a little tiny bit of robbing.
I mean, I'm going to even read this too. This is the next sentence
steal
after
stuff
that
and find a fence to
the
move
book.
it.
It says, keep your eyes peeled for odd jobs, small thefts, and recovering lost items. So I think you guys can also think a little bit more broadly about like smuggling. And it doesn't have to just be like we took this thing from here to here, right?
Okay.
It can be broad. I kind of want to give this to you. I
guess we did have to do actually a pretty
successful
amount of work to get them past the security that was
into
there.
the medical symposium. I think it's in there, right? Like there was an element of sneaking these things into the medical symposium, in order to do the
Justin's so nice.
Yeah, right.
That's pretty smuggly. Look at us.
I am trying to think of smuggling in a little bit more broad sense. That way, all of our jobs aren't just like, here, take from this planet to this planet.
The world's first real-time space actual play.
I'm here
silently for hours.
I'm here for 4 seasons of it. I'm just putting that out there now.
That's what I thought I was signing up for.
I want to move stuff.
All this criminal activity is stressful.
Still floating in space.
I get hollow chess.
I want to play another game of hollow chess.
I hate hollow chess.
I hate hollow.
It's so complicated.
All right, hollow checkers then. Jeez.
Good.
You can do that. Red jumps over black. It is time now to jump into it. I told him this beforehand, that I didn't tell him this before, but I'm going to start when you don't choose certain jobs, there might be triggers where those jobs are no longer available. I did not tell them that last time. So on the table, you've got a couple jobs already. You could reach out to Leto's contact in the Sun Eaters, who wants you to track a pirate with the Wreckers, who recently touched an artifact, and is looking now to sell the information that they have on this artifact to another faction. You don't know who the faction is. The Sun Eaters want you to find out who that faction is, and then bring it back to the Sun Eaters. You could also reach out to the Acolytes of Brash Kadesh, who have asked you to go to Nightfall. There is a Yaru or Maker's Guild there. They create clones. Rumor is that they've made an illegal clone of the governor. They want you to steal it, smuggle it off-world, bring it to them. I also think that there's a couple things that you could potentially follow up on just from your own personal thing. I think you've now got this contact 160, the Romden scientist that Carlton met. They are a part of a faction as well too. They could potentially get you some information and some creds. They might have a job for you. And I know that Gears is probably interested in getting the frequency for the nanites. You could definitely turn that into a job. You already have a +1 status with a faction that is enemies of the Bornico Guild. If you could find some way to get some information for them or something for them, they might be able to pay you, and you might be able to get what you want. So we'll say that this is probably some time after the job, right? It's not the day after. It's, a week or something like that. You're probably
I think it's
all
also good to remember that, like, sorry, I was just going to say, it's also probably good to remember that, like, part of the mechanics of, like, downtime is that upkeep is done to the ship and paid to the ship. So, like, there's time spent where Gears is just replacing stuff, fixing stuff.
Yeah. So it's necessity. There's a bit of time between jobs, right? There has to be with downtime. But I think you all are, it's one of those days. Maybe it's like raining here on Warren.
Lito's just sitting at the table
holed up in
with
the
his head resting on his hand.
It's getting to that time when your creds
through
are running low. And you gotta find
catalog from like the latest,
so
like whatever the equivalent of Macy's here is. Just like,
what do you talk about? What are you looking for?
Spacies, yeah. Like he's like looking at clothes and like stopping occasionally and like pulling out a stylus and like circling certain items and like different things, but like trying to hide it because the last time we made money, he spent all of it on clothes.
Macy's, oh my
Perfect.
gosh,
Incredible!
Oh my days.
Gears is like Gears has a little tablet, that is probably an aid for modern like deaf people in this age, where it's almost like an automatic translator, but it translates what's being said into Braille, and he has like noise canceling headphones on and is not looking at anybody and it's just like trying not to just like has like some sort of writing utensil or some way to like type out messages, and then is also reading this little Braille thing. As to not give up pretty much any information that Gears to the Bornico Syndicate.
Wow, I dig that.
That is interesting. Where did Gears learn sign language and Braille?
I think I am saying that Slice, his cousin, is deaf.
Oh, okay.
Or
I like
deaf.
that. I like that a lot.
And so yeah, just knows Braille, knows sign language.
Cool. That's so
right
cool.
now, Gears is basically keeping to himself. Is that what I'm reading?
Well, I mean, he's trying to participate in what's going on, but he is very concerned with the Bornico Syndicate literally just knowing everything about what's going on.
For sure.
Understandable.
Especially if we're trying to, and like, I think Gears will like, I'm just going to speak like he's speaking, but well, yeah. Anyways, so he's like typing out these messages, but he will. I'd really appreciate if like.
But I think we all do so love being spied on through you guys.
9 nights out of me, that would be fantastic. That's number one for me. If we could count, like, maybe talk to the Counters Guild, maybe they've got some information on the Bornico. I just it's not great for me. He just this is when he turns and looks at you, and it just like shrugs at you. What?
Lito like reaches over onto a shelf and pulls out a very rare paper copy of Moby Dick and tosses it to Gears. Yeah, teach yourself how to read.
Just bites a chunk out of his tin cup that he had been drinking liquid out of, but now that he's finished the liquid, he's working on the cup.
Or to Graves, sorry, to Graves.
I already know how to read.
To Gears?
Wait, to Graves?
Carlton.
Graves looks down at Moby Dick and like makes a sour face at you, Lito, but then like puts it carefully next to him. He's sprawled out on a couch right now, taking up more than his share of space.
Carlton, have you read this book? Seen this book before?
I have not seen this book before. Yeah.
There's something interesting about the cover. Because it's just it's a man on the bow of a boat hunting a whale, and there's just something like raw and predatory about this, that kind of speaks to you a little bit.
In the quiet of his heart, Graves resolves to read this book. But he will not let me know that.
Havoc is just like wide-eyed, watching everyone with like slight annoyance and just slight confusion. He's just like, "All right, our gears. How do you propose we get rid of this nanite problem?" I tried to talk to a doctor, but I've forgotten what happened. It seems like that was a week ago in my head, but
It was a week ago. That's why
hey, it's lovely.
it feels like that.
Yeah.
He needed the frequency to shut off the nanites.
Yep.
We know how to get rid of them, except that we don't have the key to get rid of them.
You're the two with... What would the counters do for us?
Propositions?
So,
I have no idea how to
through
get the
sheer
frequency,
power
really.
of
I'm just
disagreement, they're going to
trying to
find
get
the
the ball rolling
frequency.
here.
I suggested that we talk to the Counters Guild. Well, they and the Bornico Syndicate are like enemies, right? Like maybe know your enemies better than your friends. But, well, maybe they have it because they've had to deal with like the Bornico Syndicate's like nanites before. What did I do to deserve this?
Honestly, I doubt that that's even Bornica's nanites. I feel like they stole them for someone else.
I think it would be more conversation about like perhaps there's something else that the Counters Guild would want on the Bornico Syndicate that you could get.
Mm-hmm.
And in the process of that job, either find out more information about the frequency or find out the frequency itself.
I mean,
or we
wouldn't
could
it make more sense
another
to
job
go and see if maybe we could trade with the engineers for some help?
Maybe they like us enough to take these nanites.
We could disguise you, Gears. It's not that big a deal.
I like that. Good plan.
All right.
I'm also quite certain that you're not the only one who's left them on bad terms. I'm sure that we could find an engineer who has a speciality that's useful to us, who's no longer part of the guild.
I don't know.
I think they'd be more useful than the Counters in this particular situation. I think if we go to the Counters for help...
You think they can take them out?
Potentially.
Oh,
tell me what you decide.
I may have misspoken.
I mean,
not every Starsmith. I want to go to the Guild of Engineers.
Not every Starsmith Guild member is, gung ho about the guild. Hopefully, that's fine.
Maybe there's more dire than I thought.
Oh,
the Guild of Engineers. Yeah.
Sorry, I don't know why I misconstrued the two.
I mean, we go to the Guild of Engineers and we ask them,
getting in my head.
Check this out. Can you help us?
Freaking me out.
Perhaps
the Engineers Guild should be fine then. The Starsmith
tight
Guild
on funds, but maybe they'd be willing to trade services for services.
Didn't join.
I think suck them out.
Let's hope.
You do a job for them and rip the nanites out of his body.
All right.
I'm hoping for no kind of ripping. That sounds
slide them out.
Not great.
Pull them out of an orifice. Hey, yes, give him a good suck. All right.
Justin, just for your mind's clarity, as Graves left, he did bring Moby Dick, and he is now alone in his bunk, and he's starting to take a look.
Yeah, he doesn't like these.
He just kept talking amongst the three of us as Graves just leaves.
I mean, everyone in the crew would be accustomed to the fact that Graves does not linger very long for any complex conversations.
He's not a hoverer.
No.
He's, he made a few chomps into that tin cup and then he was on his way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Justin, is there a Guild of Engineers, like, headquarters?
Yeah, yes. Let's see, where is their headquarters? Their headquarters is actually pretty close. Their headquarters is
see if there's
on
anything that needs to be taken to the station, and
that is very close to here.
Make a little extra money on the way,
which is SB-176.
Yeah. So maybe we just pick up some.
I mean,
normal.
I think our reasons for going up plenty legitimate, but
some. We're just like.
You have a foreign body inside you. It's irrelevant how it got there.
Have a good legitimate reason for going.
Yes. Suddenly I woke up aware of nanites inside my body.
Yeah.
I mean, they might send us to a hospital. No, let's find extra reasons to go. You're right, Gears.
So you suddenly woke up and you had nanites in your body. So you could hear them clicking across your skull.
Yeah, I'll grab my communicator and kind of just put feelers out to my network and see if anyone has any jobs, anything needing transport to.
All right, well, I'll leave that to you, Lito, and I will head down to the engine room unless anybody needs me for something.
Yeah, for sure. I think here's what we're gonna do. We'll just narratively, anytime you're doing like a regular transport job, like I'm not gonna give you credit for that. You're just gonna get like enough to like get places and cover some fees and whatnot. But I'm not gonna give you additional credit for that.
Yeah, if it made us a lot of money, we wouldn't be doing all of the crime.
Yeah,
for sure.
So it's like just enough to get us.
Yeah, exactly. It's enough to get you to the next big score. So just so I'm on the same page, you are going to go talk to the Guild of Engineers to see if they have something that can help take these nanites out of Gears.
Mm-hmm.
Is that it? Okay. All righty. You get to Outpost SB-176, which is also in the Rin system here. It's pretty close. As you're like far away from this system, it's this giant mining platform almost. And on the sides and like above it is a space station. People live here. It's a giant colony, essentially. There's a bunch of people that live on this mining platform. And as you get closer, there's like a giant needle coming down out of the mining platform that is burrowing straight into the moon below it. It's just like constantly on, just... And because of that, there's just this like constant light and like low thrum and hum that kind of echoes in your space station, echoes in your ears. You know, you have a legitimate reason, so you know you present your papers and your cargo, and you're docked now on Outpost SB-176. It's loud.
As we're kind of doing the drop off, I grab like someone who's walking
families running around playing.
Would you just tell me where my fellows and I might find
just like
a nice bite to eat?
There's just that constant hum of the space laser.
Is there a place where you know, some of maybe the top scientists like to frequent? We do like to, you know, make our way amongst the hoi polloi and such.
Yakix Burgers. Space Burgers.
Oh, perfect. It's all right, Graves. We'll find something for you. Thank you very much.
Probably Echo Space Burgers.
What are the burgers made from?
My guess is that there's probably also laws governing the eating of sentient species.
Meatitarian.
I'm just worried that it's going to be a ram.
No,
they're not ram burgers.
Thankfully, we're too scarce to be a food source.
Oh no,
Carlton, please make sure you
I'm
just not gonna.
We're at the edge. We're at the kind of the rim of things, and I'm just not gonna put it past anybody. You know,
unless it is specifically given to you
right?
for you to consume.
Yes.
Do not consume it.
176.
Are we clear?
Any metal?
That's not long enough.
Depends how long.
Wait, here.
I can go 2 hours.
Gears is not gonna attempt to like walk and move through the station with nice counseling headphones, and so he's just talking. But yeah, Gears has like a pack with like scrap in it, like scrap metal, scrap parts.
We could buy you a pack as well, Graves.
Your bento, it's fine.
Your snack.
My bento. Graves looks at the pack and nods gratefully. This is why humans carry things.
It is.
Yes, I mean, more than one of us is allowed to have a bag.
Well, like contemplates the idea
of case, when we get to
surveying his own shoulders as if thinking about an object being slung on them.
Ask
Lito, it's included in my loadout automatically.
And
I just get spare parts, so
works and
research cybernetics. Just carry it.
I mean, you are also allowed to ask questions. It doesn't need to all be on my shoulders. I'm not a monolith, but okay, sure, good enough.
And we'll leave it to you.
Okay, wonderful. Excellent.
And
no, I'll even make sure that
to, find someone
not,
to talk to. That's
one of your fellow goatmen.
I'm definitely willing to join you at that juncture.
I'll try a burger.
It depends on how well Graves can read human expressions. Like,
Lito, how obvious is it on your face, just based on the time we've spent together, that you're just messing with Graves?
I think, as
you say that.
I think with Lito, like, it probably, I think that, like,
I want to actually
there are times, usually after a job has gone well, when Lito says these kinds of things, and you feel like, oh, he's joking with me. But
ran his life.
It is not in, like, a particularly, like,
but Lito's good at probably good at deceiving like that, if he wants to. You know?
It probably usually seems like he's not joking at all. All right. Yeah, I mean, do we get to the restaurant without incident? And yeah, we get there. I go. You will find a table. I'll go order and see if I can ask.
Graves shrugs and then I order to walk with a piece of scrap from Gears.
I order. I order burgers for everybody and order just the biggest salad for Graves. And while I'm up there ordering, I just ask,
this one's
question.
Open.
We're visitors. Is there anyone here who works particularly in research or cybernetics that you know of? I'm just thinking, if they did know this off the top of their head, that person probably is well known and therefore skilled.
Okay.
I mean, this is a McDonald's.
Sir, this is a Wendy's. Yeah.
No, your question it makes sense. I was just making a joke.
You are you're in luck. The head researcher for the Guild of Engineers is making his annual excursion out of his research laboratory over there, and he points to this table way off in the corner. There is a very disheveled looking person. They've got like long gray, scraggly hair. Their face is pale. They're kind of like sweating. They're not having a fun time. They're just like they're just sitting by themselves, kind of poking at their burger.
That's okay. I travel with the goatman there, and
Orver's
incredibly charming, so I'm not worried about it.
Are you planning to talk to him?
Oh, I will definitely say
good
that.
Luck with that. He's
I go over to the table.
Weird.
I like put burgers down in front of everybody. I hand Graves a salad and say, "This is a burger, my goodman," and I'll be right back. And I go to the guy's table.
All right, don't say I didn't warn you though.
It's not, but
it's not here.
And I just sort of sprinkle nuts and bolts like over the salad for her.
The salad,
a little bit of garnish.
Graves kind of like looks appraisingly before like a nod of approval, and then just starts barreling into the salad and bolts. Just no questions asked.
I love it. I love it so much. Lito, you walk up to this man. He is just like poking at
what if you didn't find that you're not hungry?
Fry, essentially, with his fork. He hasn't eaten any of his food. He's just like playing with it, and then every now and then you'll see him like look up and like look around at all of the people in here
without
and
asking
then, like,
for permission.
Back down at his plate.
Lito Bartok. I'm not selling anything. It won't be but a moment.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Yep.
Are you familiar with nanites, which could be used to spy through a person's eyes?
I'm sorry. I don't want to talk to anybody right now.
Would one such as yourself be able to find the frequency
Whatever
of
you're selling,
said nanites from someone who does not want them to be inside?
I mean, yeah, the technology exists.
That's great. Yeah. I don't want to be here either. So I think we could help each other. We could go to another place where you help my friend, and in return, we'll help you with anything you may need our assistance with.
I told you, I don't. Sorry. I'm sorry. I don't want to be here right now.
That's what happens in public often. Yes.
He sure does look like he needs help. Good lord.
I told me. I knew it. I knew someone would try and talk to me.
Wonderful.
That's why I don't come out. That's why I don't come out.
May I ask, my goodman, because it does seem that I have imposed.
Okay.
Is there someone who may be a little bit less weird but equally
okay.
qualified?
I'll take a look at your friend. I do.
Maybe
have
just point me in their
something
direction.
you could help me with.
Excellent. No, perfect. You're exactly who I'm looking for. Just wanted to make sure. Let's go collect my friends. We can.
You were talking to the preeminent head researcher.
I believe I shall
engineers.
get over it.
No one is more qualified than me on anything, and I would ask that you do not question my intelligence again. Or otherwise this conversation is over.
Your snaps to attention.
What would you prefer I call you?
Okay, good. Sorry I raised my voice at you.
Wonderful. I will bring my friends to you. That way you don't need to travel through the crowds and we'll make our way out.
You're pushing like 30 decibels.
Almost a speaking voice.
All right, wonderful.
You could just Dr. Star works.
I'll tap my communicator to open up the channel. All right, we're going to go to his lab, guys. Finish your burgers and let's go.
Can we? No, I'm done with this. We can go to my laboratory.
Bring the food with you.
There's less people there.
You're just like Justin, 3 bites into the burger. Like
that's so quick. Yeah. Justin, did Dr. Star leave their food untouched?
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Okay. Did it? Was there a burger?
Does Graves start eating immediately as we're walking?
There he is. It's a burger and fries. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Graves spots the abandoned plate as y'all stand
Havoc,
up,
and I'm like,
he just
the burgers here are so good.
They're made of sheep. Curve by. We're like, Graves, where are you going? And you just grab the burger.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. It's a walk and chow. Yeah.
Yes. Don't question his intelligence or qualifications in any way.
You caught Graves for a moment, but I think he
understand. But I'm telling you, just stroke his ego as much as possible, and we'll make it out of here.
Weirdman over there.
Unless he's into that, he might need it. Let's
yeah, he's an engineer. Let's
make sure we don't lose him.
Stroke his what?
Don't worry, we'll stroke him.
Don't worry about it, Graves. That's not a job for you.
Good.
It looks like he does, honestly.
So fun.
I'm going to take this opportunity and transition to say that you're not. I said you're above a moon. It is not a moon. You're above a gas giant called the
the sun.
Oh.
And
we're above a star.
The sun. Everyone's wearing sunglasses.
Danny, your chaos brain.
And as you're walking to like where you landed, there are mostly like people that are visiting the space station, people that are like taking things in and out. So it's mostly human. As you start getting further down towards the mining laser, you start to see more Urbots, actually. You realize that most of the mining on this is actually done by Urbots who are created and maintained by the Guild of Engineers here on this space station.
It's awesome.
And when you get to Dr. Starr's laboratory, there are a number of Urbots. And when he walks in, he's like, "You're some of the first people that have come."
I'm glad that you found companions.
I don't get a lot of human visitors. I found them. Well, I found the Urbots to be a little bit more
I've never
conversational.
Heard speak, actually, if I'm being honest with you.
Just they I don't know, make more sense to me. I'm sorry. This is going to be easier. Could you try and talk like an Urbot? That might.
Are these Urbots sentient? There's like one like taken apart on a table, and you're just like poking at it. Are these the sentient
how do
models?
the Urbots speak? We'll do our best.
No, these are not the sentient ones.
So they're more conversational because you've programmed their conversational responses.
Well, I guess, yeah. Well, just I don't know. And he pulls one up. He's like, "How was your day today?" "My day was very good." "Okay, good. Carry on with your work."
I really wanted to just be like
was
training
good.
his voice.
Yeah. Graves chimes in. He looks at this display of the Urbot, but without even, from all of you who know him, without even like trying to seem affected at all, just speaks his normal way to the doc, and is like, "It's good that
this is
you
our
use
friend
these for
who
your
has
work and not
the nanites."
organics."
Gesturing.
That's better. I like that. That's better. Perfect.
Great.
Good.
Is that relevant?
Here's just a little pose.
Oh, interesting. Okay. What? How did you get these nanites? Yeah, it is.
They were injected into me.
Oh, okay.
Through.
1 second. He like turns around as you're talking, like totally ignoring you, and he pulls over this like dark metal, like big chunky like screen that like passes over in front of gears, and he's okay. Sends it back. Okay. Maybe, yeah. I think what do you need them out completely?
Or just not working or disabled in some way. I guess they don't need to be out of my body, but just they need to not work anymore. I don't want to be watched anymore.
Okay.
He is a slave who must be freed.
What can we do for you?
I might be able to figure something out. It's gonna take me some time. I do have something I need help with. Yeah.
I'm going to step out of the room.
Good call. Good call. So we have a number of research space stations across the sector. Some aren't on any records at all.
All right. What area was it in?
Lost contact with one of those.
What is it in?
So I just need someone to go there and figure out what happened and come back and tell me what happened.
Okay. Well, yes, of course. I was just about to say. And what sort of research were they doing there?
Well, it's in the Ashtari cloud.
No, you will need to tell us in order for us to make sure that we plan effectively in order to find out what's going on. Wonderful.
That I can't tell you.
Oh. Graves, would you go check on gears for a moment, Graves?
Okay, you're right. Okay.
I think it's very important that you go check on gears.
Bioengineering. Xeno bioengineering.
You don't need to answer any of his questions.
What do you mean?
You have to answer my questions. The deal is with us. The deal is between you and I, and he also exists.
What kind of bioengineering?
Fair enough. Havoc, would you go and help Graves suit the gears, please? That's all right.
With you? I'm confused.
Here.
Well, then why don't all of them leave?
Havoc is just looking between all of you. Leo, I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna stay here because I don't trust you.
Fine, but make sure you know what's going on. And Graves leaves.
Yeah.
All right, Dr. Star. What kind of Xeno research are you doing?
The ship you're all in. And he's just walking out.
Just a little piece of leverage there. Just remember, I can drive this into a rock.
What's going on?
Are there Ramdens there? Okay.
We are researching
ethics aside
to create weapons.
No, let's not put ethics aside. You're shit. You know that.
Among other things, yep.
Okay, good. Because we need you to help our friend, we will do this job. And I just turn around and leave. I don't say anything else.
I know.
Yes, do that.
I'll send the coordinates to your ship. and the door
I'm
shuts.
going to tell you all
And
everything. We'll talk on the ship.
He goes, "Can you believe the way they talk to me?" And you just hear as you're leaving, "I had a great day today. How was your day?" And the door shuts.
You can see Havoc
we'll
with
wait
his
until he
arms
has his
crossed,
pad and
tapping
it
his
can be
feet.
translated to Braille.
Yes.
And I'll tell everyone
Peering
everything.
at Elito.
And I look at Graves and I say, I do apologize.
You're
I
just,
just
like,
wanted to make sure
sitting
you weren't going to
by
have an
the side,
adverse
like,
reaction.
covering his
If
ears.
that information came out.
Looking away.
Maybe write down what happened to Keys and tell us.
Let's go to the ship. I want to be done with this man as quickly as we can.
Oh.
Fine.
Yeah. I mean, when we get back to the ship,
Gears stays for
Well,
a
yeah.
second. Someone
yeah,
has
and
to
Lito
come
does
back
say
and tap him.
everything.
Like,
He doesn't hold
We're
it.
leaving. Oh, okay.
Oh yeah,
He's
Graves just
standing
picks
there
you
like
up.
this.
Oh, whoa.
Going back.
So yeah, fast forward. We everything was
Totally.
explained in like
Totally.
a safe way.
Totally.
Gears is like,
Yep.
and again using the sort of like typed out translator and
Yeah.
Braille translator. Gears is just like, well, that's nasty.
You're absolutely right.
But I do think there's an opportunity hidden in this for us.
I think
We
That
could,
that is at least in
get some
part
hard
something
evidence
we
of
should
what's
do.
being done here.
But,
Yeah.
and I
And
can't
then
believe
we
I'm the one
have
saying this, out of
blackmail.
all of us,
Just
I don't know if blackmail material is as important
go.
as freeing whatever Xenos we can from the station. If we use what we see for blackmail, we can get some creds or something, maybe, out of it. But if we go, we do the job, we get
Well,
the
you're
You're
nanos
saying
out
this
and
in Graves'
we
presence?
return or even turn it over to the hegemate. Like, we don't
Graves seems heartened.
Don't bring it to our advantage, but we help people who sorely need it afterwards. So we go, we get the help, and then we still have the information. We still know where the station is. We could even plant a bug in case they try to move it.
well, how are we gonna free them and still get the help that we need? I guess that's my concern. I feel pretty okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Let's
Thinking
do this. Let's do this. We don't need to get all the details planned out now. These are all things that you can potentially do depending on how the job goes. I want to say one thing before we get into the engagement role, and that is in the Ashtari cloud, your nav systems and your propulsion engines are functional, but will malfunction quite
Consistently.
frequently. The only people who have been able to navigate through the Ashtari cloud without having their ships messed up is the pirates that make their base close to the Ashtari cloud. So you can get through it, but there might be some challenging roles in terms of piloting.
Yeah, I guess first problems first. How we get through the Ashtari cloud.
I think we'll cut to when you're at the space station.
Yeah.
Right. Like I'm not gonna be like, how do you get through it? Because there's no problem getting there. It's potentially getting out that's gonna be
Okay. That's the running away part.
Yeah,
If
the
that makes
escape.
sense.
So that might be time
Right,
for a flashback
right, exactly.
at that point. We'll find out.
Yeah. So you'll have time to get there. So I think it is time that we've chosen the job. I think we come up with a plan.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got the 6 options. You've got assault, deception, infiltration, mystic, social, and transport.
So he just wants us to go and figure out what happened.
I think infiltration makes the most
communications
sense,
are cut
personally.
off with this station.
Mm-hmm.
Because
I
especially
mean,
if
as far
it's
as
a
we know,
heavily
it's just a
pirated
social
area,
encounter, right? Like we're going to a secret base. We're telling
and
them
who
that
knows
we
whether or
were
not
sent
he's going to
by
actually communicate that we're
researcher
coming.
Dr. Star, and then just getting like a report.
Infiltration also might be.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. Like, and none of these are off the table. Social, there's ways to say, like, maybe you do have a contact with the pirates. I don't know if anybody does. I mean, I know Havoc actually does have a contact with the pirates. Not a positive one, but a contact nonetheless.
Yeah.
So maybe you do lean on a social connection in order to get you into the cloud, into the base to get the information. What are you thinking? What's this consensus? It sounds like we're between infiltration and social.
I lean social.
Yeah. Maybe we call it.
Yeah.
Well,
we need to work. We need to break into the Pentagon. Well, my cousin works at a car dealership in California. I think we should call him.
Junk ships with him. Just need somebody to talk to.
He's not in this system, and he's not a pirate, but maybe he knows a pirate. Maybe he knows somebody who works in the Pentagon.
Hey, maybe I'm just trying to recreate the best part of the Ant-Man.
I feel like after the whole pirate thing has been brought up, I'm leaning more towards infiltration as well, just because.
It seems like stealth will be required.
Yeah, Yatu told Havoc, right, that Maris is sort of running with pirates.
Yeah, the wreckers.
Yeah. So Havoc is visibly distraught. I'll mark the troubled condition. Wait, wrong game.
We're not playing Avatar Legends. I think what you choose is going to drastically affect how this job plays out, right? Like if social is what you guys want to go with, most of this job will be trying to convince the pirates to get you through the Ashtari cloud to the space station. If you choose infiltration, we're probably going to cut to you at the space station.
I like infiltration.
I like infiltration.
I mean, I can make both interesting.
Yeah, but we have no doubt.
Don't you worry about that.
I am horrified for what's about to be on this ship.
Mm-hmm.
If you do what Graves is about to do,
it's essentially a mansion in a foggy, desolate forest. Is the equivalent that we have right now.
Hey, Nick. What? Take a look at the calendar and note that this episode comes out on October 29th.
Oh, no.
What's significant about that?
Let's go with assault. We're blowing the station up.
Go with assault. No, you chose an infiltration.
Let's do it. I'm so done.
I think I'll give you one before you left. Like the coordinates were given to you by Dr. Starr, and there's a note that there is a side port as well as the code to dock and get through that door. So that is one potential point of infiltration, but you are welcome to tell me whatever the point of infiltration is going to be.
Heavy.
Yeah, I mean, we'll start with that. It's exactly what the zombies are expecting.
All right. Why don't you tell me what your item loadouts are going to be?
Cookies.
Light, baby.
Yeah, Lito's nervous.
Gears, Havoc.
Oh, bring a normal load.
I'll go normal as well. Nah, I'm gonna go
heavy, normal, light. Okay, dokay. All right, reset your gambits back to 2. Anyway. And if you all right. And if you checked off armor, I don't think anybody checked off armor though last time. I think the only one who has armor, like a specific armor, is Lito. You guys can use your regular item armor though, but I don't think anybody did. It is a social armor anyway. With that, I want to remind you all that you can always resist any consequence that I present. Right? If there's ever a consequence. Any consequence, doesn't matter what it is, you can tell me you resist it. You tell me how you resist it. Keep that in mind. I'm going to go ahead and roll the engagement roll then.
This is not a delivery job, so we don't get +1 dice.
It is not a delivery job, no. You get 1 die for sheer luck. 1 die. Let's see. Is this operation particularly bold or daring?
We're
I would say not based on the intelligence we have.
No, yeah, I don't think so. No, but it also
we're about to find out that it was in hindsight.
Sure. It also, I think, means it's not overly complex or contingent on many factors, so you're not going to lose a die for that. Does the plan details expose a vulnerability to the target or hit them where they're weakest? No, not really. They're not strong against the approach. Can any of your friends or contacts provide aid or insight for this operation?
I don't think a lot of bioengineering happens on a derelict station, but I could be wrong.
Well, I mean, I do have some experience like junk ships. I don't know if that's going to come into play. depending on how derelict this station is, I guess we'll find out. Well, I'm saying like it might be derelict now because whatever happened.
And are there any enemies or rivals interfering in this operation? I do not think so. I do not think there are any enemies or rivals, and I don't think there's any friends or contacts. So there's nothing there. Are there any other elements that I want to consider? You chose this job. The Guild of Engineers are tier 4. Which means that the things that they make are tier 4. Means
it's going to be real low.
So
yeah, good. We'll be fine.
I'm gonna take a die away for that, which means that I'm actually gonna roll 2 die and take the lowest.
Oh, Justin's rolling to die.
Since Justin's rolling, things are gonna be real bad for us going in here.
That's gonna be real low. What if I roll 2 6s? That'd be crazy.
So wait, what is this roll? Sorry, can you just...
This is the engagement roll. This is the position and the situation you find yourself in at the start of this job. It's probably gonna be real bad.
I've changed my mind.
Johnny's got it. Johnny's got
both numbers, just so I can see what could have been.
Yeah, just so you can see what. Yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what I rolled. I rolled a 2 and a 3. So
doomed no matter what. Got it.
Yeah. I want to pick a different job now. I don't want to do this job anymore.
I want to stay home and eat.
As you pass through the Ashtari cloud, Havoc, you're having to do a lot more hands-on piloting in order to get through the Ashtari cloud. But eventually you get to the coordinates that were given to you by Dr. Starr. And as you pull up, it is this massive derelict research space station. You can see that there are chunks of this space station that are broken. There's just pieces of the space station like orbiting near it. The lights are like flickering on and off. You don't see any movement. It's just eerie and silent as you pull up to the port side dock and get in. And you start making your way towards the center, the control center, to try and like maybe download some information, figure out what's going on. The lights in here are just like constantly flickering. There's space debris everywhere. There's chunks of the wall that are like broken off. There are also claw marks everywhere. And as you see these first claw marks, the lights flicker a little bit. And then you hear movement behind you. And then you hear movement in front of you. And to the left. And to the right. And in the walls. And all around you. And when you turn back around to keep walking, standing in your way are 5 Ramden. But they are bigger than Carlton. And they have far more arms than Carlton does as well. Except they're long and black.
How many more?
Not that much more. You know, maybe like 4 or something. They're long. And 4 is a lot. That's why I said a lot. I feel like contextually, 4 more
when you've got a
arms
bunch of Ramdens,
is a lot.
You see a lot of arms.
Yeah,
So.
They're like arms, but they're long and they're black and they're pointed and sharp at the end of it, and they let out this terrifying sound. And the 4 of them just start charging at you.
Oh no. I think any hopes of this being like a lovely rescue mission are gone.
Shoot him.
Yeah, so for context, I mean, we're in our ship still.
No, you are.
No,
in
we
the
still
went through the and
saw
scratches on the walls.
Correct. You're a bit into it. So I mean, if you want to run back to your ship, you can run back.
That way.
It's gonna, you're gonna have to get there.
Run, says Graves.
Yeah,
and he makes to charge at the Ramdens. that are going after us.
Wow. Okay.
We're not running then. I will pull out. Oh, sorry.
Well, I mean, I think Carlton did the first thing. Let's get a roll. What is your intent? Your intent is to just like try and hold them off. It sounds like maybe.
Yeah, I just want to give the crew time to get back on the ship, which is what I'm assuming they'll do if they're anything close to sane.
Okay.
Because what is before us is like uncanny
terrifying
level of danger. Yeah.
Yeah. Why don't you give me an action?
Okay. I think this is going straight into like unstoppable. And
you do have that. Yeah.
Which I don't know the total distinction between like using it and using Wrecking Crew, like if those are compatible or not.
I believe they definitely are compatible. Yeah, no. So you're in melee with them. So yeah, it's all narrative, right? So if you're in melee with them, which you said you ran up to them to try and like hold them off. You're in melee, so you're going to gain a die. And if you push yourself, you'll get the die as well, and you'll get those options that are unstoppable. I still though, before we figure that out, I need the action.
Yeah. And you don't mean the fictional action, you mean the mechanical action?
I need the mechanical action you're using. Action roll, like the various actions. Yeah,
scrap.
Okay.
Because scrap is my fight action.
It is the melee fight action. It is a desperate position. Okay. Because of the engagement roll, you're in a desperate position. It is desperate, and I think it is a limited effect, since you are just trying to give them time in order to get away. You're being charged by 4 Ramdan. You're going to give them a moment to do something else, but not much more than a moment.
I have something in mind to aid you as well if you need assistance or assist you.
Let me push myself first.
Yep.
If that changes it.
So that's going to give you an extra die, and you get to choose one of those options under there. Engage a small gang on equal footing in close combat. I'm assuming that's what you're doing, right?
Yeah.
Engaging this. Yeah. So I think that's good. That actually I think will push it up to. Well, yeah. I'll ignore that there are more of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. So yeah, I'm using Unstoppable. I'm pushing myself for the stress.
Doesn't pushing yourself increase the effect?
It can increase the effect. Yeah.
I think you should lead towards that.
Okay. I'll go for the increased effect.
Okay.
And Havoc, I encourage you to assist.
Yep. I'm gonna assist.
What does that assist, Havoc?
I like to think there are like pipes sort of lining this hallway. Havoc will just pull out a blaster next to the enemy Ramda and sort of shoot it, and steam starts pluming out to sort of confuse them in just enough time to keep them off guard for when Carlton just rams them.
Okay.
Pun not intended.
I like that.
Totally intended.
Take the stress. You're gonna need to mark that item off of your loadout as well too.
I marked a blaster pistol. It's okay.
Perfect.
I could also mark a second one if I wanted to, and a heavy blaster pistol. We're fine.
Whoa! All right, so
I
think that is your scrap dots plus the one from Wrecking Crew plus the one from the assist. If my math is right.
So, sorry, Danny, but the rules of Scum and Villainy say that the pew pew is not optional whenever you use the blaster pistol.
Can you?
The what?
So the pew pew is not optional.
So he pulls out the gun pistol description,
and he looks at the pipe, and you hear.
That's Danny's
what he's decided his gun sounds like. That's what he wants it to sound like.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. It's exactly what it sounds like.
So do I have 4d6 total? Did I hear that correctly?
If that's how many you've gotten scrap. I don't know how many you have in scrap.
I have 2 in scrap.
Yeah, so then 4. Yep. You get the 1 die from Wrecking Crew. You get the 1 die from the assist.
Nice.
Awesome. What do we got? My highest are 4s.
Oh, okay.
No good. 4-4-3-1.
Yeah.
Should I narrate the attempt, Justin, or tell you what I want?
Tell me what you do. Yeah.
So, I mean, assessing the arms and just the ferocity of these clearly out of sorts ex-Romdens. Like Graves isn't going to tangle. So his initial goal is just to incapacitate as quickly as possible with like a ram. So he's like bowing his head and charging, and just aiming the horns at the solar plexus of one of the Romdens.
Okay.
Just trying to take it out instantly, just take the wind out of it.
Yeah.
Maybe break some ribs.
So I think you do. You do that. There's one that gets like knocked, and you just see it like a rag doll crumple and fall down to the ground unconscious. But there are 3 others, and you see Carlton Graves get up very quickly from this attack in order to try and knock another one off, but not fast enough, as one of these spindly black arms just stabs itself into Carlton's chest. And Carlton, you looked down, and there's like almost spores that come off of this arm and start infecting into your belly. I need you. This is the first time this has happened, so I gotta look it up.
Is that a consequence?
Right. That is a harm.
Is this the result of a consequence?
It is a consequence. Yes.
You could resist that if you wanted to.
You could resist it if you wanted to.
Not the harm, but the spores. Am I correct?
The spores are the harm.
The spores are going to be the harm.
Mm-hmm.
The spores are going to be the harm.
Resist the entire consequence if you wanted to roll to resist it.
And so if you don't, you will be taking the level 3 severe harm infected.
Oh, yeah, I'll roll to resist.
That.
Yeah.
Okay. Danny, you should resist that.
Can I attempt to assist in this roll, or is this one that you are not allowed to?
Resistance rolls, I don't believe you can.
I don't think you can assist in them.
Because I feel like I could shoot the tentacle, but I don't know, just whatever.
No, because this is all happening in this moment, right? Like,
I already made contact. That's the problem.
Exactly.
Like,
I need you to tell me, like, what does Carlton do to try and resist this?
So I'm picturing this. You described a black spindly arm that was able to essentially pierce flesh. So the edge of it is like a point.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the most obvious thing I think is that Carlton catches and grabs this spindly thing and like keeps it at bay.
Okay.
And so he's just in a wrestling match with one of them and is trying to bend it back towards the thing's face.
I'm just trying to read if it's like okay, so here's what it is. Resistance rolls are not necessarily like I stop that thing from ever happening.
Okay.
It has pierced you, right?
Okay.
But it's like when sorry.
The resistance roll is you saying, how do I resist the consequence, if that makes sense?
Because so I'm trying to separate out. The consequence would be infection.
Yes. Yep. And you're probably not going to get rid of it completely.
Okay. Yeah.
Right,
yeah.
But it's like when somebody gets stabbed by like a spear or something, they catch it so it doesn't go even deeper in, right? Kind of pull it out.
Yeah. That's exactly what it is.
It's still stabbed you. You've still been stabbed.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. I just want to...
Yeah, it's not that you stop it from stabbing you. It's that maybe you stop it from going further into you. Right?
Yeah.
You grab it at the right moment and start pulling it back. Okay, I think this is a prowess resistance. So go ahead and roll your prowess rating there. You're going to suffer stress equal to 6 minus the highest die you roll.
Okay. I'm trying to look for my prowess rating.
So again, it's that first column.
I see. The first column.
Just however many dots you have in just that first column.
Yeah, 2.
Okay, so roll 2. Tell me what the highest is.
Yeah. All right. Oh, thankfully 6.
Ooh. Okay, so no stress. I'm going to say that it's not a level 3 harm. I'm gonna say that it is a level 2 harm now.
Okay.
Called needs we'll just say needs medical attention.
Okay.
Right? There's still the risk of infection, but it's a little less severe.
Yeah. I want the record to show that Leto did not see that happen because Graves yelled run and Leto ran.
All right. You all see Carlton just rush in,
he's not
knock
a fighter,
one unconscious, and then get stabbed in the chest by another one of these. What do you do?
I wasn't necessarily saying that, but we can't.
Okay.
At least someone listens.
Oh yeah.
All right, we can follow Leto for a moment because you just bounced. Leto, you just turn. You turn and run, and I'm assuming you're making your way back to the ship. Okay. You try and make your way back to the ship, and as you're running, you can hear movement all around you, as though it is closing in on you. Let's see. I will just let you make it to the ship. I think that's interesting. If you're just like waiting there, waiting for the rest of them.
Gears is going to yell out. I mean, Leto's already long gone. We need to get to the central control center. We'll be able to vent atmosphere from there. And he'll pull out because the way we were going was to there anyways. So the only way forward the only way to go is forward in Gears' mind. Yeah. So he pulls out a blaster pistol and just starts firing at the ones that are still up.
Okay, give me an action roll.
That kind of has to be scrap, doesn't it?
I think so. Let's see if scrap is like firing as well too.
It's with an opponent in blaster or physical combat.
Yeah. I think so.
That one's super negotiable.
I think it's I mean, it's still a desperate position. Nothing has really changed. And what is your intent? Your intent is just try and take one of these down?
Yeah, or at least clear a path so that we can run forward instead of having to run back.
Okay, I like that. I think then that's standard effect. I think if you can hit this, you'll be able to clear at least a path for one of you.
And also, just as a note for everyone, whenever we roll a desperate, we get
correct.
Yep, you get to mark XP.
Yep,
mark XP for that stat.
Correct.
Well, that stat block.
That's the attribute. Yeah,
that specific stat.
Yes, attribute.
Attribute. Thank you. Yeah. So I'm rolling scrap, of which I have no pips in. So
okay.
I don't even think I can even. You can't add anything to this roll, right? Like you have to.
Well, I can assist you. Right?
No, you can assist. Oh. You can push yourself. You could take a devil's bargain. You could use a gambit. There are lots of ways.
So if I did that, would it then go to 1, and I just take the bet that goes back to being the best result?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll definitely assist you and just shoot as well.
Yeah, we're just like just clearing the way. So that's just 1 die now. I would push myself, but I am very high on stress, and somebody didn't have a chance to relax. So we're.
Do you want to hear Devil's Bargain?
I would love to hear Devil's Bargain.
Yeah. I think the Devil's Bargain, I sort of intimated it, but let's make it concrete. Only one of you will be able to get past. You are clearing a path for one of you to rush past and get through, and leaving the 2 of you to deal with these 3 Romden horrors on your own.
Yeah, I'll go for that.
Okay.
Because in Gears' mind, he can save everybody if he gets to the command center.
Sure.
I love Gears' mind.
Okay, 6.
Wow. Okay.
Yes.
And on a 6, on a desperate, you still do it.
You said standard effect for this one. Yeah,
a desperate position. The effect is different. Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
So the position was desperate.
Wait, I do get a pip in my. attribute, right? On my prowess attribute.
Correct.
For XP,
yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
okay.
Yeah, you can
Sorry, I thought
almost.
that.
It's once we've set the position, it's very difficult to change the position.
Okay.
Without you trading effect for position. The effect is a little bit easier for you to.
Leto
like,
just comes
scale up
sprinting
and down.
past.
I was confusing the
I'm
two.
kidding, I'm kidding.
It's I get it. I totally get it. Yeah, so it's a desperate position, but a standard effect, meaning you'll open up a space for someone to get through. But because of the devil's bargain, only one of you can get through. So I have to ask now that you see that space, Gears, do you take it? Do you tell someone else to take it?
Gears steals. No, Gears sprints out, and as he's running, he's like, "I'll make it to the command center. You're gonna have to beat these things, but then I can close the bulkhead so you guys don't get vented." And is just sprinting, just trying to get to the control center.
Okay. I see this as What are you doing, Havoc? I'm gonna set some things up because I think I think we've got to start to land this episode.
Yeah. What's on the outside of this hallway?
What do you mean?
Like the walls of this hallway we're in. What's on the other side of those walls? Is it space or is it more of this station?
No, it's more of the station.
More of the station?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you can hear running along those walls more screeching and hollering and
yeah.
Gears is like, you don't have to beat them, you can also just get away from them. Because I don't know how well it's communicated, but Gears is trying to tell you that like if you get alone somewhere, he can seal you inside and you'll have atmosphere.
Havoc is going to yell out now, and I like to do a flashback.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
so we see this scene.
Tell me what the flashback is first. Yeah,
we see this scene of Havoc, like at maybe like where in like autopilot now, the ship's just cruising over to the Ashari Cloud or whatever it's called, and Havoc.
Probably through.
It's one of the.
And we see Havoc rigging a fine small Urbot with explosives, with small explosives.
Where did you get the Urbot?
And in my pilot items.
Do you have an Urbot?
Urbots are all over, man. Come on.
Fine small Urbot is one of the items I can check off.
Is it really?
It is really, yeah.
Okay.
I will be checking a number of items. I will be checking fine small Urbot and detonator.
I love it.
And
Steve,
basically,
so much for the Urbot.
I want to pause too. Steve, I told you all that I would be much harder on. You can't just tell me you have something. You have to have the items for it, or you have to have set up that you got something.
For sure.
What's cool
I just read
is
the section on Urbots earlier, and I just thought it was totally plausible that he'd have one.
Again, I'm going to be much harder on unless you tell me you actually have something or it's in your items. I will not just let you say, I have this thing. You have to have the thing.
For sure.
That's interesting.
It is in his items.
What's cool is the Urbot, it's italicized too, so it doesn't even take up
space. Nice. An item slot. Great.
Yeah. And Havoc had told this Urbot that's rigged with explosives to sort of follow them in the floors or the walls, and that on his signal just explode. And it's just a precaution he takes. He even took it in our last job, but he never had to use it. So
he always has an Urbot ready to explode.
An Urbot rigged with explosives just following him.
Yeah.
So yes, flashbacks.
I think that's one stress. I do think there's going to be
the floor through underneath the Ramda.
Okay. There's definitely an action there for sure.
Yeah, one stress,
and then let me know what you think.
I feel like rig.
I like Rick.
Okay.
I think it's gonna be. I mean, it's still a desperate position, and I think it's a standard effect. Effect.
Can I push myself to increase the position?
To increase the effect, you can.
Or the effect, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
So I meant.
Yeah. I think so. I think then that means that potentially all three of them might be caught up in this.
Cool. So I have 1 pip and rig. You said it's desperate?
It is desperate, yeah.
Okay. I feel like I don't need to use. Should I use a gambit on this? No, I'm only rolling. I only have 1 pip and rig. I can't push myself and accept a devil's bargain.
You can do one or the other.
Just roll and die.
Again, this is one of those games where consequences are gonna be fun. You know what I mean? You don't need to.
I know, yeah. I'm just gonna roll a die, man.
Just roll the die. Tell me what you get.
As long as explosion happens, it's fine. I got a 6. So we're fine.
Jeez, you guys.
What a line that summarizes Danny's personality. As long as an explosion happens, it's fine.
It's fine.
Oh, good.
That's
actually one of that's actually in the rule book. It's actually in the rule book. It says GMs, when you're having trouble, explosions always work. I think that's like
I love that.
The core
I love that. I love that.
There is a underneath these 3 Romden, and you see all 3 of them fall, and one of them like initially grabs the floor to hold itself up, and then the other one's momentum hits it and it continues to fall down, and all 3 of them fall down. Now, at this point, Gears, I'm going to say you get to the command center.
Okay, cool. What do I see?
You see it's off right now. So here's what's going to happen. I'm going to start a clock. Before I start that clock, I'm going to tell you that the sounds around the hallways are getting louder and louder and louder.
Oh no.
You're about to be overrun by these things. I'm going to start a 8-segment clock to extract the information from this command center.
We'll call this clock Gears Life.
And we will see you.
Lito's just going to start up the ship and leave without you.
But I'm sorry. I was trying to use the command center to then take control of the facility so I could vent atmosphere everywhere.
Oh, I know. It's off. You're going to have to spend some time.
Oh, to like turn it on. 8-segment clock to turn it on.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
We're going to die before that happens.
Awesome. Yeah, we're definitely going to die before that happens.
Lito will.
I survived.
Lito's like, excuse me, 8 segments? My goodness. Goodbye.
Have fun with that, and then just leaves.
We will see you next week. And I hope they survive. I think they will. I think they'll survive, but they might not.
Yeah, you know.
We'll see. Lito will.
Lito has a good chance.
He's in a pretty good spot.
Thank you all
for that as well.
Thank you all for watching. We will be back next week with episode 4 of The Professionals. Bye.
Bye.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
And for those on Twitch, we will be back in 15 minutes.
We'll be right back.
Something I noticed. Sorry.
Oh, it's fine.